Hello and welcome. With the final exams just around the corner, I know many of you are feeling anxious and unsure about how to prepare for Maths Paper 1. But don't worry, you are in the right place. In this video, I will be sharing my top tips and strategies to help you feel confident and be prepared for the exam. Whether you are struggling with algebra, geometry, transformation, trigs, I have got you covered. I will take you through the most important topics to focus on how to manage your time effectively and some expert advice on how to tackle those trick exam questions. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to expect from the exam and how to prepare yourself for success. So let's get started and make sure you are ready to ace Maths Paper 1 in November 2024. Don't forget to take notes, ask questions, and practice. So this is Maths Paper 1, guys. Calculators are not required. As you are preparing for your exam, please train yourself to write Maths Paper 1s without a calculator. So right now, I want to tackle the first question on adding decimals. So when you are adding decimals, practice to write the decimals, placing, like here, we are going to place a 0 so that it is going to be 1.40. You should write in correct columns, so that here you are going to say 0 plus 4, you get 4. And then 4 plus 0, you get 4. 1 plus 0, you get 1. So the final answer is going to be 1.44. It is very important for you to understand how to operate mixed fractions. In this case, we want to divide 5 1/4 divided by 3 1/2. So whenever you are dealing with mixed fraction, the first step is to convert mixed fractions into improper fractions. We are going to say 5 times 4, we get 20, plus 1, we get 21 over 4. And then we divide by 3 times 2, it is 6 plus 1, we get 7 over 2. So when we are dividing fractions, we should draw that the next step is of changing this division sign into multiplication sign, and then we invert. So it is going to be 21 over 4 times 2 over 7. When we are saying we are inverting, it means that the one that was the numerator is going to be the denominator, and then the one that was the denominator is going to be the numerator. And then we do the cross multiplication. 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 4, 2. 7 into 7, 1. 7 into 21, we get 3. So we now have 3 over 2. The question, it was in mixed fractions. So we are supposed to leave our answer in mixed fractions. So 3 over 2, it is going to be 1 1/2. Because we say 2 into 3, it is going to be 1, remainder 1 over 2. So this is going to be our final answer. So as you are preparing for November 2024, make sure that you can operate the decimals. You can add, you can subtract, you can divide. Also, you can divide and subtract, divide and multiply mixed fractions. Let us move on to number 2. Number 2A, it was a question on approximation. Number 2A is reading express 31.095 correct to 2 decimal places. So we are going to count 2 decimal places. This is the first decimal place, the second, and then we look at 5. When it is 5 and above, we need to round up. So if we round up, this is going to be 10. So we are going to write 0 clear 1. So that our final answer is going to be 31.1. And then on part 2, we are supposed to express 31.095 correct to two significant figures. So this is our first significant figure, and this is the second. We are going to look at 0. It is less than 5, so we don't round up. Our answer is going to be 31. And then part B, express 7/30 as a recurring decimal fraction. So when we are saying a recurring decimal fraction, we mean a repeating decimal fraction. So what we are going to do is we express this into recurring decimal fraction using long division method. So we are saying 30 into 7, it is 0, right? And then we say 30 into 70, we are going to get 2. This is for 60. So if we say 70 minus 60, we get 10. So it is 2 remainder 10. We say 30 into 100, we are going to get 3. This is for 90. So it is 3 remainder 10. So we write our remainder here. And then we say 30 into 100, it is 3. Again, remainder 10. So this is going to be continuous. So we are just going to write our final answer is 0.233. And then we are going to put 3 dots in front so that it is going to mean that it is continuous. So as you are preparing for your Maths Paper 1 in November 2024, you should always ensure that you are able to do the approximation. You can round to give a number of decimal places, to give a number of significant figures. And also make sure that you understand how to round to the nearest tenth, to the nearest thousandth, etc. Let us proceed to number 3. Number 3A, it is given that 01827 is a pattern. State the next term of the pattern. So this is a pattern of cube numbers, because if we say 0 times 0 times 0, we get 0. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, we get 1. 2 times 2 times 2, we get 8. 3 times 3 times 3, we get 27. So the next term, it is going to be 4 times 4 times 4, which is equal to 64. Then part B, a length h measured to 1 decimal place is given as 9.5 centimeters. State its limits. So here, for us to get 9.5, we have rounded to the nearest 1 decimal place. So it means that the lowest is going to be 9.45. So write 9.45 centimeters. Why? Because if we round 9.45 centimeters correct to 1 decimal place, we are going to obtain our answer is 9.5. So we write 9.45 is less than or equal to h, which is strictly less than the highest number of this limit. It is going to be 9.54. Why? Because if we round 9.54 correct to 1 decimal place, we are going to get 9.5, because we can't round up as 4 is less than 5. So it is going to be 9.5. So whenever you are asked about the limits, you should always know that the lowest limit is going to end with 5 and the highest limit is going to end with 4. Let us proceed to number 4. Number 4, it was a question on factorization. This is a frequently examined question. You should know how to factorize the difference between 2 squares. So this is how we are going to factorize. We need to write the square root of x squared. It is x, and then we put a negative sign or a positive sign. The square root of 1 over 36 is going to be 1 over 6. We need to open another bracket. We write the square root of x squared, which is x, Then we need to change our sign to be positive. Let's say you started with positive. Next, you are going to put negative, or you start with negative. Next, you are going to put positive. Then you write the square root of 1 over 36, which is 1 over 6. By doing this, you have factorized the difference between two squares. Let us proceed to part B. It is saying remove brackets and simplify 4a plus b times 5a minus 3b. So this question is on expansion. So when carrying out expansion, you first take the first term in the first bracket, you multiply it by the whole second bracket, and then after that you take the second term, you again multiply by the complete second bracket, and then after that we need to expand. 4a times 5a, we get 20a squared, and then 4a times minus 3b, we get minus 12ab, and then b times 5a, we are going to get plus 5ab, and then b times negative 3b, we are going to get minus 3b squared. And then after that we need to add the like terms. So if we say minus 12ab plus 5ab, we are going to get minus 7ab minus 3b squared. So this is going to be our final answer. So as you are preparing for November 2024 Maths Paper 1, make sure that you concentrate on factorization and also on expansion. Let us proceed to number 5. Number 5, it was a question on simultaneous equation. You should know that in each and every Maths Paper 1, we are going to see a question on simultaneous equation. So be prepared to take all the marks on solving simultaneous equation. So they are going to put it like this, where you're going to have the x being not in one column, the y being not in one column. What you need to do first is to rearrange. So right now I have rearranged the y's, they are on their own column, and then the x's, they are on their own column, the numbers are on their own column. So the next step is that, let's say we want to eliminate x, we need a positive sign. So we are going to say 6y plus y, we get our 7y, minus 3 plus 3x, we get 0, and then 1 plus 13, we get 14. So we are going to divide both sides by 7 so that our y is going to be positive 2. And then the next step is that we are going to substitute that y in any of the equations above, either in the first equation or in the second equation. Let's say we substitute in the second equation. We are having 3x plus y is equal to 13. On y, we substitute 2. So we write 3x plus 2 is equal to 13. So we are going to shift this 2 to be on the other side. It is going to be subtracted. So we say 3x is equal to 13 minus 2. We get 11. Then we divide both sides by 3 so that our x is going to be 11 over 3. So make sure that you are ready to tackle all the 3 marks on simultaneous equations in your November 2024. Let us proceed to number 6. Number 6, it is given that universal set is having elements from 0 to 9. A is a set of prime numbers and B is a set of factors of 12. List the elements of A. So from this set of numbers from 0 to 9, the prime numbers that we have, we are going to have 2, 3, 5, and 7. When we are saying prime numbers, these are numbers that have two factors only, that is 1 and itself. So the first prime number is 2 and 3, 5, 7. You should take note that 0 and 1 are not prime numbers. And then next we want to write the elements of A intersection B. But before we write the elements of A intersection B, first let us list the elements of B. So elements of B are factors of 12. When we are saying a factor of number, it is a number that divides exactly into a given number without leaving a remainder. So the first factor of 12 is 1, and also 2 is a factor of 12, 3 is a factor of 12, 4 is a factor of 12, and then lastly 6 is a factor of 12. And then we want to list the elements of A intersection B. It means that these are elements that are in both set A and set B. So here we are having 2 is in both set A and set B. We list it down. And then 3 is also in set A and set B. So we can only see that these are numbers that are appearing in both set A and set B. So it means that A intersection B, we are going to just write 2 and 3 only. And then part B, we're supposed to write the number of A union B prime. So what we need to do first is, first let us list the elements of A union B. When we are saying A union B, it means that we are combining the elements that are in A and B. So we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the elements that are both in set. These are elements that in the union of A and B. We are going to have these elements after combining elements in A and elements in B. And then we need to write A union B prime. When we are saying A union B prime, we mean the elements that are not in A union B. We have 0, we have 8, we have 9. And then the question is saying number of A union B prime. So we are supposed to count the number of elements that are in A union B prime. We are going to get 3. So we write our A union B prime is equal to 3. We write the number of A union B prime is equal to 3. So you should know everything about sets. You should understand the set notation and also be able to draw the Venn diagrams. Let us proceed to number 7. Number 7a, expand 1, 2, 3, 4 base 5 in powers of 5. Let me repeat again. It is requiring us to expand 1234 base 5 in powers of 5. So this is what we are going to do. We write 5 to the power of 0, 5 to the power of 1, 5 to the power of 2, and 5 to the power of 3. And then after that, we need to fit in our value, which is equal to 1234. So when we are expanding in powers of 5, we are going to say 5 to the power of 3 times 1. And then next we say plus 5 to the power of 2 times 2. And then next we say 5 to the power of 1 times 3. And then lastly we say 5 to the power of 0 times 4. So this is what is required on the first part of number 7. And then part B, evaluate 1011 base 2 plus 111 base 2, giving the answer in base 2. So we say 1 plus 1, we are going to get 2. Of which numbers in base 2, we're just supposed to have zeros and ones only. So if we say 1 plus 1, we get 2. And then we say 2 divided by 2, we are going to get 1, remainder 0. So we are going to write our remainder here. And then if we say 1 plus 1 plus 1, we get 3. 3 divided by 2, it is 1, remainder 1. So we write our remainder here. And then 1 plus 1, we get 2. 2 divided by 2, it is 1, remainder 0. And then 1 plus 1, it is 2. 2 divided by 2, we get 1, remainder 0. And then here we don't have anything to add here. So our final answer is going to be 10,010 base 2. So as you are preparing for your November 2024 Maths Paper 1, make sure that we are at perfect when it comes to addition and subtraction of number bases. Also make sure that you can convert from one base to another. Questions on number bases is a frequently examined topic. Let us move on to number 8. Number 8, it is saying express 0.5 liters in cubic centimeters. So the answer is going to be 500 cubic centimeters. I'm going to show you the working. You should know that in 1 liter, we have 1000 cubic centimeters. What about in 0.5 liters? It is going to be less. We apply proportion. So we then say 0.5 over 1 times 1000. In order to get our final answer is 500 cubic centimeters. And then part B, a woman earning $275 had her salary increased by 5%. Calculate her new salary. So we are going to apply proportion. 100% is equal to $275 before the increase occurred. And then if we increase by 5%, it means that we now have 105%. So we need to find the equivalent of 105% in dollars. It is going to be more than 275. So we say 105 over 100 times 275. So this is Maths Paper 1. You should know how to do without using a calculator. So if we say 5 into 105, we get 21. 5 into 100, we get 20. And then after that, we then say 5 into 20, we are going to get 4. 5 into 275, we are going to get our answer is 55. So we now have 21 times 55 divided by 4. Our answer is going to be $288.75. Another method of working out this question is of saying 275 plus 5% of 275. So we say 275 plus, if we say 5% of 275, we are going to obtain our answer is 13.75. And then after that, we say 275 plus 13.75. We still obtain our answer is $288.75. So that was all about number 8. Let us proceed to number 9. Number 9, it was a question on functions. It is saying if function of x is equal to 1 over x squared, where x is not equal to 0, find the function of -3. So it means that we are going to substitute -3 on x. So if we substitute -3 on x, we now have our answer is 1 over 9. Why? If we say minus 3 times minus 3, it is going to be positive 9. And then let us proceed to part B. Find the values of x when function of x is equal to 1. So it means that we are substituting 1 on this function of x. Write 1 is equal to 1 over x squared. And then we need to solve for x. We are going to multiply both sides by x squared, so that our equation is going to be a linear equation. We now have x squared is equal to 1. And then to make x the subject of formula, we then multiply both sides by to the power of half. We multiply by to the power of half here, so that we now have x is equal to, when we are saying 1 to the power of half, it is the same as saying square root of 1. So of which there is square root of 1, it is either 1 or negative 1. So these are going to be the possible values of x when function of x is equal to 1. Let us now proceed to number 10. It was a question of changing to the subject of formula. It is saying, given that x is equal to aq squared plus bq squared, express q in terms of a, b, and x. So here we are having x is equal to aq squared plus bq squared. The first step is that we are going to factorize. So we write x is equal to, if we factorize, we now have q squared a plus b. And then after that, we divide both sides by a plus b, so that we remain with q squared at the right side of the equation. And then now to make q the subject of formula, we then multiply both sides by to the power of half. So here we multiply by to the power of half, and then on q squared we multiply by to the power of half, so that this 2 is going to cancel this 2. Q is equal to, if we are saying to the power of half, it is the same as saying square root of. So we write q is equal to square root of x over a plus b. So make sure that you can change to the subject of formula as you are preparing for your November 2024. Let us proceed to number 11. Number 11, it was a question on variation. It is saying V varies jointly as H and as the square of R. So this is how we are going to interpret. The next step is that we need to remove this varies sign. We are going to introduce an equal and a constant. So the first part, it is requiring us to write down the equation connecting V, R, and a constant C. This is going to be the equation. And then let us proceed to part B. Find C if V is equal to 440, R is equal to 2, and H is equal to 35. So we first need to make C the subject of formula. We are going to divide both sides by HR squared, so that we remain with C on the right side of the equation. So we need to substitute correctly. On V, we substitute 440. And then on H, we substitute 35. And then on R, we substitute 2 and we square it. So if we say 440, and then we say 35 times 4, we are going to get our answer is 140. So this 0 cancel this 0. Then we say 14 into 44. For it to be easier, we can reduce it. We divide by 2, so that here we have 22. Here we are going to have 7. And then we say 7 into 22 it is 3 remainder 1/7. So this is going to be our final answer. So variation is a frequently examined topic in Maths Paper 1. As you are preparing for your Maths Paper 1, you should understand about different type of variations that we have. You should understand how to deal with direct variation, joint variation, inverse variation, and also partial variation. Let us proceed to number 12. Number 12a, solve the inequality minus 2 bracket 2x minus 7 is greater than or equal to 38. So first let us expand the brackets. Minus 2 times 2x we get minus 4x. Minus 2 times minus 7 we get positive 14. This is greater than or equal to 38. And then the next step, here we are going to shift this 14 to be at the other side. So we write minus 4x is greater than or equal to 38 minus 14. So we write minus 4x is greater than or equal to 38 minus 14. We are going to obtain our answer is 24. Then you should always know that when you are dividing with a negative, the sign is going to change the direction. So here we want to divide by negative 4. Here we divide also by negative 4 so that we remain with x. We are going to write x is less than or equal to minus 6. You should always know that if you divide by negative in inequalities, the sign is going to change direction. So we now have x is less than or equal to minus 6. So next we want to illustrate our solution on the number line that is provided. We are going to put a circle on top of minus 6 like this. And then if we are having less than or equal to, or we are having greater than or equal to, we need to shade the circle. So this one is going to be shaded. And then we indicate that x is less than or equal to minus 6. So the values that are less than or equal to minus 6, they are going to move in this direction. So we put an arrow that is going to point to the left direction. So this is how we illustrate our solution on a number line. Let us proceed to number 13. Number 13. In the diagram, A, B, D, C, and F, E are parallel. BC is parallel to GF. GBC is equal to 60 degrees. And BAD is equal to 80 degrees. So first we are supposed to calculate BGD. So the angle that we are supposed to calculate first is this angle. This is a parallelogram. Here we are having 60. This angle is also going to be 60 degrees. And also you should know that these angles, they are also equal. In parallelogram, the angles in a parallelogram, they sum to 360. So in order to calculate BGD, we are going to say BGD is equal to 360 minus, we are having 60 here. So we say 60 plus 60. And then we need to divide by 2 for us to get this BGD. So if we say 360 minus 120, we are going to get our answer is 240. And then 240 divided by 2, we are going to get 120. So it implies that BGD is equal to 120 degrees. And then next we want to find ADG. ADG is this angle. So here we obtained 120. Here it is also 120. So next we are going to first find this angle. We say angles on a straight line, they sum to 180. 180 minus 120, we get 60 degrees. So now to find this ADG, we then say angles in a triangle, they sum to 180. So we say 180 minus 60 plus 80 in order to get 40 degrees. And then next one, to find DEF, it is this angle that we want to calculate. So DEF is going to be equal to 80 degrees. Why? Here we are given that these are parallel lines, isn't it? So parallel lines, they form at angles which are equal. So here we are going to have also 80 degrees, and here we are having 80 degrees. So this was the complete solution for number 13. Well, let us proceed to number 14. Number 14, given that R is equal to 9 times 10 to the power 6, evaluate leaving the answers in standard form 2R. So when we are saying 2R, we are saying 2 times 9 times 10 to the power of 6. So 2 times 9, we are going to get 18 times 10 to the power of 6. Then we should understand that the standard form values, they are supposed to range from 1 to 9. So we need to convert this 18 to be in standard form. It is going to be 1.8 times 10 to the power of 1. We multiply by 10 to the power of 6. And then we say 1.8 times, here we are going to add the powers. We say times 10 to the power of 1 plus 6, which is 7. So this is going to be our final answer. Let us proceed to part B. It is saying R squared. So we are saying 9 times 10 to the power of 6 times 9 times 10 to the power of 6. So 9 times 9, we get 81. And then 10 to the power of 6 plus, times 10 to the power of 6, we add the powers. It is going to be times 10 to the power of 12. And then the standard form values, they are supposed to range from 1 to 9. We convert 81 to be a standard form value. It is going to be 8.1 times 10 to the power of 1 times 10 to the power of 12, which is equal to 8.1 times 10. We add the powers so that it is going to be 10 to the power of 13. And then lastly, we want to find the square root of R. So here we are going to say square root of 9 times square root of 10 to the power of 6. So the square root of 9, we get 3. The square root of 10 to the power of 6, we get 10 to the power of 3. This is going to be our final answer. So standard form is a frequently examined topic in Maths Paper 1. Make sure that as you are preparing for your November 2024, you can add and subtract standard form values. And also you can multiply and divide standard form values. Let us proceed to number 15. Number 15, the table shows the sizes of shoes worn by pupils in a class. Find the total number of pupils in the class. So we are going to add the total frequency. 6 plus 14, we get 20. 20 plus 12, 32. 32 plus 8, 40. 40 plus 2, 42. So it implies that the total number of pupils is equal to 42. And then the model shoe size is the one with the highest frequency. The highest frequency is 14. So it means that shoe size number 6 is going to be our model shoe size. So we write 6 here. And then the median shoe size. First, we need to find where we are going to have our median. The total is 42. So we say 42 plus 1 divided by 2. 42 plus 1 divided by 2, we get 21.5. So we need to find, we need to understand that 21.5 is a number that is between 21 and 22. So the 21 is going to be in this category, because if we say 6 plus 14, we get 20. So the 21st student is going to wear size 7. And then the 22 again is going to wear size 7. So we say 7 plus 7 divided by 2. We get our median is 7. So that was all about statistics on number 15. So as you are preparing, make sure that you understand the differences between the model shoe size, the median, the total frequency, and also you can calculate the mean, and also you can calculate the range. Let us proceed to number 16. Number 16, the equation of a straight line L is 3x minus 5y is equal to 30. Find the gradient of the line L. So we need to rearrange our equation to be in this form. Y is equal to mx plus c. So first we are having 3x minus 5y is equal to 30. So this minus 5y is going to remain at the side. And then we shift this 3x to be on the side. It is going to be minus 3x plus 30. And then we divide all the terms by negative 5. Here we divide by negative 5, and here by negative 5. So it means that we are now having y is equal to positive 3 over 5x minus 6. So this is going to be our gradient. 3/5 is going to be our gradient. And then part B, the equation of a line that is parallel to line L passing through a point minus 5, 3 in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So here we want to find that equation. What you need to understand is that parallel lines, they are going to have equal gradients. So we are having y is equal to mx plus c. We want to calculate this c. We are going to use this point. This is representing x, and then this is representing y. So on y, we put 3. On m, we put the gradient, which is 3/5. And then on x, we put minus 5 plus c. So this 5 is going to cancel this 5. We now have 3 is equal to minus 3 plus c. We need to make c the subject of formula. So we shift this minus 3. It is going to be added here. So 3 plus 3 is equal to c. 6 is equal to c. And then we now need to write the equation that is parallel to line L. So we write y is equal to 3/5 x plus 6. So this was all about coordinate geometry. Make sure that you understand how to find the gradient, and also to find the equations that are parallel, using the concept that parallel lines, they have equal gradients. Let us proceed to number 17. So number 17, it was a question on simple map problems. It is saying the scale of a map is given as 1 centimeters, representing 250,000 centimeters. Find the distance on the ground in kilometers that are represented by a length of 5 centimeters on the map. So here we are having this as our scale. 1 centimeter is equal to 250,000 centimeters. What about 5 centimeters? It is going to be more. So we say 5 times 250,000 in order to get our answer is 1,250,000 centimeters. Then we need to convert this 1,250,000 centimeters into kilometers. 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. What about 1,250,000 centimeters? It is going to be more. So we are going to say 1,250,000 divided by 100,000. This 0 cancel this 0. This 0 cancel this 0. This one, this one, this one, this one. We now have 125 divided by 10. We are going to get our answer is 12.5 kilometers. Let us proceed to part B. The actual area in square kilometers represented by area of 6 square centimeters on the map. So here we have the scale of length is 1 centimeter to represent 250,000 centimeters. So scale of length is equal to 1 centimeter to represent 250,000. We need to convert 250,000 into kilometers. We divide by 100,000 so that we get 2.5 kilometers. And then the scale of area, we are going to square the scale of length. So here 1 times 1, we get 1 square centimeter. And then 2.5 times 2.5, we are going to get 6.25 square kilometers. So it means that 1 square centimeter is going to represent 6.25 square kilometers. And then what about 6 square centimeters? It is going to be more. So we are going to say 6 times 6.25 kilometers in order to find the square kilometers. So if we say 6 times 6.25, we are going to get our final answer is 37.5 square kilometers. So as you are preparing for your November 2024 Maths Paper 1, make sure that you will be able to convert from scale of length to scale of area. And also you can find the scale of length while you are given the scale of area. It means that you are just going to say square root. And then to move from the scale of length to square of area, you need to square. Let us proceed to number 18. Number 18, the size of each interior angle of a regular polygon is 135 degrees. Find the size of each exterior angle. So you should know that if we add interior and exterior angle for n polygon, we are supposed to get 180. So here we are going to say 180 minus 135 in order to get our exterior angle is 45 degrees. So that is what is required on a part 1. And then on a part 2, we are supposed to find the order of rotational symmetry of the regular polygon. So you should be able to find the formula of finding interior angle. It is 180 n minus 2 over n. So we are given that the interior angle is 135. We need to make n the subject of formula. So here we multiply by n both sides so that we now have 180. If we multiply here by n, here by n, we now have 180n minus 360 is equal to 135n. And then we shift this 135n to be on the other side. It is going to be 180n minus 135n is equal to 360. Here we are going to get 45n is equal to 360, and then we divide both sides by 45. so that our n is going to be equal to 8. So it means that the order of rotational symmetry of the regular polygon is going to be 8, because the order is equal to the number of sides. And then finally, state the special name of regular polygon. This regular polygon, that is number of sides is 8, is known as octagon. So as you are preparing, you should know how to find the exterior angle of any polygon, the interior angle of any polygon, and also to state the order of rotational symmetry and also the lines of symmetry. Let us proceed to number 19. So number 19, it was a question on division of algebraic fractions. What we are going to do is, first we need to factorize this a squared minus 3a plus 2. It is a trinomial, so we write a squared minus 3a plus 2. And then we are going to multiply a squared by 2. We get 2a squared. So we need to find the two factors of 2a squared, which when we add, we get minus 3a. We are going to have minus 2a minus 1a. And then after that, we are going to rewrite minus 3a is minus 2a minus 1a. So a squared minus 2a minus 1a plus 2. And then we factorize for this group. The common factor is a. We factor it out. And then we are going to have a minus 2 inside the brackets. And here we are going to factor out minus 1. And then we remain with a minus 2 inside the brackets. So it means that we are going to have a minus 2, a minus 1. And then we now need to rewrite. We write 1 over a minus 2, a minus 1. And then when we are dividing, we change the division sign into multiplication sign, and then we invert. So it means that this 1 minus a is going to be our numerator. So we say over 1. And then after that, we then say 1 over a minus 2 times a minus 1. And then we want to cancel this term and this term, but for us to cancel, we're supposed to start with a minus 1. So we are going to factor out negative here, and then we have a minus 1 over 1, so that we can easily cancel this a minus 1 and this a minus 1. This is the same expression, because if we say minus 1 times a, we get minus a. Minus 1 times 1, we get minus 1. So the next step now is that we are going to write minus 1, because if we say 1 times minus 1, we get minus 1. And then a times minus 2. 1 times a minus 2, we get a minus 2. And then this expression can be simplified further. This is how we are going to simplify it. We multiply both sides by negative 1. So here we say minus 1 times minus 1, we get positive 1. And then minus 1 times minus 2, we get positive 2. Minus 1 times a, we get minus a. So this is going to be our final answer. Let us proceed to number 20. Number 20, a motorist left Mashing of a bait bridge at 2102. The motorist spent 1 hour, 30 minutes mending a puncture and 3 hours driving. The motorist's average speed for the journey was 64 kilometers per hour. Express 2102 is a time in 12-hour clock. So this is what we are going to do. We say 2102 minus 1200, Here we get 02, and then 21 minus 12 we get 9. So it means that it is going to be 9:02 p.m. So let us proceed to part B. Find the arrival time in Bedbridge in 24-hour notation. So the departure time is 21:02. Total time that was spent, we have this 1 hour 30 minutes in mending the puncture and also 3 hours driving. So it is going to be 4 hours 30 minutes. So we add 2 plus 0, we get 2. 0 plus 3, we get 3. 1 plus 4, we get 5. And then 2 plus 0, we get 2. There's no time, which is 25:32. What we are going to do is we subtract 24 hours from 25:32. So we're saying 25:32 minus 24:00. We are going to get our answer is 1:32 a.m. So it means that the arrival time is 1:32 a.m. And then on part C, calculate the distance between Masvingo and Bedbridge. So you should know the formula. It says distance is equal to speed times time. The speed it is given is 64 kilometers per hour. And then the time taken is 4 hours 30 minutes, which is 4.5 hours. So this h is going to cancel this h, so that our answer is going to be in kilometers. And then if we say 64 times 4.5, 4 times 2, 9, 4 times 2, 8 plus 1, we get 9/2. And then 2 into 64, we get 32. 32 times 9 is equal to 288 kilometers. So that is the distance between Masvingo and Bedbridge. Let us proceed to number 21. Number 21 was a question on matrices. It is saying the matrix A minus 2, 2, 14x, it is having the determinant is -2. Find the value of x. So you should know the formula of finding determinant. Determinant is equal to AD minus BC. So this is our A, our B, our C, our D. So we are going to say minus 2 times x minus the BC is 14 times 2. And then we say it is equal to this -2. And then we need to solve for x. So here we are going to say minus 14 times 2, we get minus 28. We shift that minus 28 to be at the other side. It is going to be added. So if we say minus 2 plus 28, we are going to get 26. This is equal to -2x. And then we divide both sides by -2. So that our x is going to be equal to -13. And then part B, we are supposed to find the inverse of A. We have our determinant as -2. So we say inverse is equal to 1 over the determinant. And then these A, B, C, D, A and G, they are going to interchange their position, so that we now have D and A here. And then these B and C, they change their signs, so that we now have minus B minus C. So let us substitute correctly. Here we have 1 over -2. And then our D, we obtained -13. So we place our -13 here. And then on B, we are having 14. It is going to be -14. For C, we are having we are having 2, so it is going to be -2, and then our A is -2. And then we simplify. If we say -half times -13, we get positive 6.5. -half times -14, we are going to get 7. Here we get 1. Here we get 1. So it implies that the inverse is going to be 6.5711. Let us proceed to number 22. Number 22a, given that log base b of m is equal to x, express m in terms of b and x. So here we are saying log b of m is equal to x. For us to remove this log, we are going to raise b to the power of x, and we say it is equal to m. So this is how we are going to express m in terms of b and x. And then on part b, we are going to let our answer be x. So let our answer be x. We are going to say log base 4 of 1/64 is equal to x. And then to remove the log, we are going to raise 4 to the power of x, and we say it is equal to 1/64. And then we need to rewrite 1/64 in powers of 4. It is going to be 4 to the power of -3. Since the bases are now the same, we can now equate the powers. We say x is equal to -3. So it implies that here log base 4 of 1/64 is equal to -3. Then let us proceed to part 2. It is saying log 81 over log 27. So what we are going to do here is we say log 81 is equal to log 3 to the power of 4, and then log 27 is equal to log 3 to the power of 3. And then we are going to rewrite, we are going to apply the power rule of logs. We say 4 log 3 is equal to 3 log 3. So this log 3 is going to cancel this log 3, so that our final answer is going to be 4/3. Let us now proceed to number 23. Number 23, it was a question on probability. 2 unbiased coins, coin 1 and coin 2, are tossed and the outcomes recorded in a table. Complete the outcome table given where H is head and T is tail. So here we are going to say head, head, and then here we say tail, head, and then here we say head, tail, and here tail, tail. So that is how we are going to complete the probability tree diagram. And then using the table or otherwise, find the probability of getting 2 heads. So we are having 1 out of 4 options of us having 2 heads. So we are going to write our probability is 1/4. And then different outcomes. We are having this tail head and head tail. So it means that we are having 2 out of 4 outcomes. And when we are writing probability, it is supposed to be right in its lowest terms. So it is going to be 1/2. And then finally, at least 1 tail. So when we are saying at least 1 tail, it means 1 tail or more. So we are having either we are going to write tail, head, or head, tail, or tail, tail. So if the probability is of either or, we need to add the probabilities. So tail, head, we are having 1/4. Head, tail, we are having 1/4. Tail, tail, we are having 1/4. So we are going to add all the probabilities to have a total of 3/4. So that was all about number 23. Let us proceed to number 24. Number 24A, on a certain day, $100 was exchanged for 880 rands. So this is $100. We are saying it is equal to 880 rands. So we want to find the equivalent of 165 rands. It is going to be less than $100 if we apply proportion. So we say 165 over 880 times 100, so that we are going to obtain our final answer is $18.75. And then part B, we are supposed to express 90 kilometers per hour in meters per second. So we just need to divide by 3.6. So we say 90 divided by 3.6. We are going to get our answer is 25 meters per second. So you should know that if you want to move from kilometers per hour to meters per second, you divide by 3.6. And then if you want to move from meters per second to kilometers per hour, you multiply by 3.6. And then part 2, calculate the acceleration of the object in meters per second squared. You should know the formula of acceleration. The formula of acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity over time taken. So the final velocity in meters per second is 25. The initial is 0 because question is saying it started from the rest, which means 0. So we say 25 minus 0. This is meters per second divided by time taken, which is 5 seconds. So if we say 25 divided by 5, we are going to obtain 5 meters per second squared. So that was all about number 24. Let us proceed to number 25. Number 25, it was a question on circumgeometry. It is saying in the diagram, points A, B, C, and D are on the circumference of a circle with center O. CDA is equal to 50 degrees and BDO is equal to 20 degrees. Line TS is a tangent to the circle at D. We are supposed to calculate DBC. So before we do the calculations, I want to teach you the simple method of dealing with circumgeometry. You need to first just fill the angles that you can find before attempting the questions. For example, here, you should know that the angles that lie between a radius and a tangent is 90 degrees. So this one is going to be 90 minus 50. We get our 40 degrees here. And we put our 40 degrees here. And then you should know that the radius, they are going to form an isosceles triangle. Because from this point to this point, this is a radius. And then from this point to this point, it is a radius. So it is going to form an isosceles triangle. Here we are going to put our answer is 40 degrees. And then you should know angles in a triangle, they sum to 180. So we are going to say 180 minus 40 plus 40 for us to get our 100 degrees here. And then here we are having 20. This is going to be 20 degrees also because the radius, they are going to form an isosceles triangle. So this overall angle is going to be, if we say 180 minus 20 plus 20, we are going to get 140. And then this is a complete revolution. It sums to 360. So we are going to say 360 minus 140 plus 100 in order to get 120. And these are radius. They are moving from circumference to the center. So we are going to form an isosceles triangle which have two angles which are equal. So we say 180 minus 120. We are going to get we get 60 degrees, and we divide it equally, so that here we are going to write 30, here we are going to write 30. And then you should understand that angles in the same segment are equal. Here we have 40, and also here we are going to have 40. Angles in the same segment are equal. Here we are having, this is 50 overally, and also this one is going to be 50 degrees. And then here we say angles in a triangle, they sum to 180. We want to have this angle. We can calculate it. This angle, isn't it? Here we are having 30. This one is going to be 30 also, because angles in the same segment are equal. This is 30 degrees and this is 30 degrees. They are sharing this same chord AB. So you can now find the angles that are required. We have completed all the angles that we're missing on our diagram. So the first angle that is required to be calculated is DBC. DBC is this angle. So we say 30 plus 20 in order to get 50 degrees. Next is DOC. DOC, we obtained 100 degrees. That is the one which we are going to write. So the next one is ODC. We calculated before and obtained these 40 degrees. And then ABD, we obtained 40 degrees because we said angles in the same segment are equal. And then lastly, DAC, we obtained this 50 degrees because we said angles in the same segment are equal. This is 50, and also this is going to be 50 degrees. Or we can say 180 minus 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 30. We are going to obtain 50 as our answer. This marks the end of our tutorial today on how best to start preparing for November 2024 Maths Paper 1. Thank you so much, guys, for following me on this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. I love you all. This is Eve signing out.